For many years, I truly believed walking was enough. After working with adults over 70 for decades, I consistently gave the same advice: walk daily, stay active, keep moving. I followed that advice myself. Then one morning, I stood up from a chair and noticed something subtle but unsettling. My legs responded, but not instantly. There was no pain. There was no dramatic weakness. There was only a slight delay. A hesitation. If you are over 70, you recognize that feeling. It is that brief pause before your body fully cooperates. And this is where most people misunderstand what is happening. Falls do not begin with pain. They begin with hesitation. They begin with a fraction of a second when your muscles respond too slowly. That morning forced me to pay closer attention. It made me question whether what I believed about movement was truly complete. Walking was maintaining my strength, but it was not rebuilding it. It was not restoring responsiveness. It was not reactivating the deeper systems that protect balance and stability. That realization pushed me to look deeper. And once I began asking better questions, the answers became surprisingly simple. This is where the real shift began. If the slight delay I just described feels familiar to you, then this next part is important, because what seems small at first can grow into something serious over time. The issue is not that you are inactive. The issue is that you may be training the wrong system. Walking is repetitive. It supports circulation. It improves cardiovascular endurance. It keeps the body from becoming sedentary. But walking primarily activates large muscle groups in predictable forward patterns. It does not fully challenge the small stabilizing muscles that protect you during unexpected movements. Those stabilizers are what help you recover when you trip, when you turn quickly, or when your foot lands unevenly. Research on aging muscles shows that after 70, fast-responding muscle fibers decline much faster than endurance fibers. These fast-responding fibers are responsible for rapid correction and balance recovery. They are your built-in fall prevention system. If they are not specifically activated, reaction time slows, sometimes only by fractions of a second. But after 75, fractions of a second matter. They can determine whether you stay upright or lose your balance. That is when I stopped asking how to move more, and I began asking how to activate better. The answer did not require a gym. It did not require heavy equipment. It began in the simplest position possible, sitting down. And from that position, everything changed. So, if sitting is where the shift begins, the next question becomes simple. What exactly should you do once you are in that chair? What I discovered was not a complicated routine. It was not an intense workout. It was a sequence, a structured progression. One simple chair-based workout, divided into 5 progressive steps. Each step builds on the one before it. Each step activates a different layer of stability and control. We begin with foundational activation. We move toward deeper muscle engagement. And we finish with the most powerful full-system movement of all. Interestingly, the third step often feels almost too easy. Yet research consistently shows it improves balance control in adults over 75 more effectively than walking alone. That is why the order matters. You are not just exercising. You are rebuilding a system. Before we begin, take a moment. How old are you, and where are you watching from? I read every comment, because understanding who you are helps shape what I teach. Now let us start with step 5, the foundation. Before we strengthen the hips or improve posture, we must begin where balance truly starts, at the ground. Because every step you take, every turn you make, every correction your body performs begins at the ankle. Most people assume balance is controlled by the hips, but research consistently shows that the ankle is the first responder during instability. If the ankle reacts slowly, the rest of the body follows too late. This is why step 5 may look simple, but it is foundational. Seated ankle circles. Sit upright in a sturdy chair. Place both feet flat on the floor. Lift your right foot slightly, just 1 or 2 inches off the ground. Now slowly rotate your ankle in a full circle. 10 circles clockwise. 10 circles counterclockwise. Move slowly and deliberately. Each circle should take about 3 seconds. Then repeat on the left side. This gentle movement reactivates small, stabilizing muscles around the ankle joint. These muscles decline significantly after age 70, especially the ones responsible for rapid directional correction. Studies on adults between 76 and 88 have shown that consistent ankle mobility training improved joint awareness and reduced minor stumbling incidents over a 6-week period. What matters most is control. Do not swing your entire leg. Keep the thigh still. Allow only the ankle to move. When performed correctly, this movement stimulates neuromuscular pathways that walking alone does not fully challenge. Start with 2 sets on each side. As control improves, increase to 3 sets. If one ankle feels stiffer than the other, give it extra attention. Imbalance between sides often predicts instability during walking. And now that the foundation at the ankle is awake, we can move one layer higher in the system. Next, we strengthen the inner thighs, one of the most overlooked muscle groups in fall prevention. Now that the ankles are active and responsive, we move one layer higher. Because stability does not rely on one joint alone. It relies on coordination between joints. And one of the most overlooked muscle groups in adults over 70 is the inner thigh, also known as the adductors. These muscles sit along the inside of your legs. Their role is simple but critical. They keep your legs aligned under your body when you shift weight from one foot to the other. When these muscles weaken, the body becomes unstable side to side, and sideways instability is strongly associated with hip fractures after falls. Studies show that adductor strength can decline by nearly 30% between ages 65 and 80. Yet most people never directly train this area. That changes now. Sit upright in your chair. Place a small pillow, folded towel, or soft ball between your knees. Keep both feet flat on the floor. Now gently squeeze your knees together. Hold that squeeze for 5 seconds. Then slowly release. Repeat 10 times. Complete 3 sets. The 5-second hold is important. Research on isometric contraction shows that sustained tension produces significantly greater strength gains compared to quick squeezing and releasing. During the squeeze, you should feel activation along the inner thighs. If you do not feel engagement, increase pressure slightly, but avoid strain. Breathe normally throughout the movement. Do not hold your breath. Controlled breathing prevents unnecessary spikes in blood pressure. This movement builds medial stability, meaning it strengthens the muscles that prevent the knees from collapsing inward and the body from shifting sideways unexpectedly. With consistent practice, many adults report feeling more secure during walking and turning. And now that the inner thighs are engaged, we move upward again, because posture plays a larger role in balance than most people realize. Next, we address shoulder mobility and upper body control. Now that the lower body has begun to reactivate, we move upward, because balance is not controlled by the legs alone. It is controlled by alignment. And alignment begins at the shoulders and upper spine. As adults age beyond 70, shoulder mobility gradually decline. Research shows that range of motion in the shoulder joint can decrease by more than 20 degrees compared to midlife. This loss does not only affect reaching overhead, it affects posture. When shoulder mobility declines, the upper back rounds forward. When the upper back rounds forward, the center of gravity shifts. And when the center of gravity shifts, balance becomes more fragile. That is why step 3 matters more than most people expect. Seated arm raises with a controlled hold. Sit upright in your chair. Feet flat on the floor. Arms resting at your sides. Slowly raise both arms out to the sides and then upward toward the ceiling. Go only as high as is comfortable. At the top position, hold for 3 full seconds. Then lower your arms slowly over 4 seconds. Repeat 8 to 12 times. Complete 2 to 3 sets. The 3-second hold activates stabilizing muscles around the shoulder joint, including the rotator cuff. These small muscles are essential for upper body control. Studies in older adults have shown that controlled overhead holds significantly improve functional reaching ability and upper body strength over several weeks. The slow lowering phase is equally important. Controlled descent strengthens muscles through their lengthened range, which improves joint protection. With consistent practice, Posture becomes more upright, breathing becomes easier, and the body regains a stronger sense of vertical alignment. Now that posture is improving and the upper body is stabilizing, we move back down to one of the most critical fall prevention systems in the entire body. Next, we strengthen the outer hip, the true guardian of side-to-side stability. Now that posture is more upright and the upper body is stabilizing, we move back down to one of the most critical muscle groups for fall prevention, the outer hip. Specifically, the muscle known as the gluteus medius. This muscle sits on the outer side of your hip. Its job is to keep your pelvis level every time you lift one foot off the ground. Each time you take a step, one leg supports your entire body weight. If the outer hip on that side is weak, the pelvis drops slightly. That drop may be small, but over time it creates instability. Research in older adults consistently shows a strong connection between outer hip weakness and fall risk. In fact, a large percentage of adults over 75 who have experienced falls show measurable weakness in this muscle group. That is why Step 2 is so important. Sit upright in your chair. Place your feet flat on the floor, about 6 inches apart. Place your hands on the outer sides of your knees. Now press your knees outward against your hands. Hold this outward press for 4 seconds. Then slowly allow your knees to return to the starting position. Repeat 8 to 12 times. Complete 3 sets. The 4-second hold is essential. Sustained contraction ensures that the outer hip muscles fully activate. Quick movements do not produce the same level of engagement. During the press, focus on feeling the muscles on the outer hips working. Keep your feet planted. Keep your upper body still. The power should come from the hips, not from leaning or shifting weight. With consistent training, this movement improves lateral stability. That means better control when stepping sideways, turning corners, or recovering from a slight loss of balance. And now, we arrive at the final and most powerful step. Because strength alone is not enough. The nervous system must also reset. Breathing and spinal alignment complete the system. Next, we move to Step 1. Now we arrive at the most powerful step in this sequence. Because strength without coordination is incomplete. And coordination begins with the nervous system. This final movement may appear gentle, but it influences more systems in the body than any other step we have covered. It combines diaphragmatic breathing with controlled spinal extension, and together they reset posture, improve oxygen flow, and stabilize internal pressure. Sit at the front edge of your chair. Place both feet flat on the floor. Rest your hands gently on your thighs. Now inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. As you inhale, allow your abdomen to expand outward. At the same time, gently lift your chest and lengthen your upper spine. This is not a forced back bend. It is a controlled opening of the rib cage. Hold this expanded position for 2 seconds. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. As you exhale, allow your spine to return to a neutral upright position. That longer exhale is intentional. Slow exhalation activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This lowers stress hormones, reduces resting tension, and improves balance regulation. Research in older adults shows that controlled diaphragmatic breathing can improve lung capacity, reduce blood pressure, and enhance spinal mobility over time. But the deeper benefit is neurological. When breathing becomes deeper and posture becomes more upright, the brain receives clearer signals from the body. Reaction time improves. Stability improves. Confidence improves. Perform 8 breathing cycles per set. Complete 3 sets daily. The entire routine takes less than 10 minutes, and it can be done safely in any room of your home. Now take a moment to consider what we have just rebuilt. We activated the ankles. We strengthened the inner thighs. We restored shoulder alignment. We reinforced outer hip stability. And we reset the nervous system through breath and posture. This is why this seated workout can outperform walking alone. Walking maintains. This rebuilds. If this information has helped you see your body differently, consider subscribing so you never miss future guidance designed specifically for adults over 70. Because aging does not mean fragility. It means adapting intelligently. And sometimes, The most powerful movements begin in the simplest position, sitting down.